Hey everyone, and welcome back! It's that time again. Let's go ahead and do it. What are we gonna get? There's a blue. Another blue. Ancient Mage, I don't have two of those. Cold Blood, I have so many of those. There's another one. Because why not? Stranglethorn Tiger, what else we got? Siphoned Soul Gold, okay. Alright, it's actually a pretty good card. It's a steep cost, but you get a little health out of it, so it's not that bad. Of course, it's not as bad as some of the other ones, like Naturalize. Like, Naturalize is probably one of the worst destroy a minion cards there is. Maybe Corruption. Corruption's pretty poor, too. It extends things out a whole turn. That's pretty poopy. What else we got? There's a rare. Light Warden. I never really use these. Deadly Shot's always good. Zapping Kodo sometimes. Amani Berserker and Demon Fire. So a lot of stuff you've seen before. Try a random enemy minion with 2 or less attack. I've used this a few times. It depends on what kind of deck you're running. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes not. Berserker for enraged decks, and then the Demon Fire, which can kill 2 damage minion or 2 health minion if you want to do something like that, or gives a little bit of damage to demon decks. Alright. A Wisp, I hate that card. Azure Drake's not bad if you're running a spell deck. Actually, almost core if you're running a spell deck. Abusive Sergeant, give 2 damage to a minion. Harvest Golems are always... Actually, these are really good early game cards just because it doesn't put it on the board immediately. So if they have wipe of some kind, even if they have like a Pyromancer or something, they still survive till the next check of damage. Mirror Entity, a very strong ability for mages. But of course, yeah, I think I have 2 of those. Worgen Infiltrator is a very strong early game card. It's pretty much guaranteed to attack and seal. I think I already have 2 of these. I don't know. I actually have never run a rogue deck at all. Bite from Druid, 4 damage, 4 armor. Enrage on this for your weapon has +2 attack. Spiteful Smith does work in certain situations. I actually don't run this in my warrior deck. I can try it. I actually have not tried it yet, but it's a very steep card. 4/6 though. If this had, I guess, I don't know. If this had Taunt, I'd be a little more inclined. You get the Fen Creeper 3/6 with Taunt. For the same amount of mana. So you lose 1 attack, but you have Taunt on it, and that's so very valuable in certain situations. Acolyte of Pain, I already have 2 of these, I believe. So that will just be disenchanted. That's one of the coolest things about Hearthstone is when you get a whole bunch of cards that you don't use or don't want, you'll just be able to disenchant them for some dust and make things that you do want. So it's always worth it to get cards, and that's why I do these 40-pack openings, is because even if I get stuff I don't want, I'm going to disenchant everything I don't want and make something that I do want. Power of the Wild. I've never used this guy to the point where it's like, wow, I'm glad I had him. He seals minion if you have 4 or more. It can work maybe in a priest mind control deck, but beyond that, not really too much. Kind of cold. Power of the Wild is actually a really strong card. It's cheap and it gives +1/+1 to your minions, or summon a 3/2 Panther. That's really cool. This is a good card. I don't run this. I don't have a big Druid deck that I built, but it's actually not that bad of a card. From our Farseer with Wind. Oh, here's an Earthshock. Gold and silence a minion, then deal 1 damage to it. Pretty good. Actually, very good. And there's another silence on the Iron Beak. There's an epic. Bane of Doom. Deal 2 damage to a character. If it kills it, summon a random demon. This is actually a really good card. I was always wondering if I could run this, and I might run this in my Stampede deck just for lulz. I have never had the opportunity to use this card, so I'm glad I got it. I have none of these. This is actually one of the motivations for me getting another 40-pack is because I wanted to run these in my deck, but I had none. I don't have these. I don't have any of these cards. I have no Questing Adventurers, and they're really good. They're very good if you can protect them. So I'm glad I got that. There's a rare. Azure Drake. Inner Rage, plenty of that. Jungle Panther 4/2 with Stealth for 3 mana. Bloodsail Raider, always good with a weapons deck. And then another Mirror Entity, which will get disenchanted. There's a rare. Blessed Champion. This is my first one. Double minions attack. I'd like to run this into my Divine Shield deck. I'm glad I got that one. Void Terror. I mean, this is proven to be already good. Even if the rest of the cards I get from these packs are bad and I disenchant them all, that's still good. Void Terror, I have 2 of those. Scavenging Hyena, I have 2 of those. Summoning Portal, 2 of those. And there's Scavenging Hyena, so these are both going to get disenchanted as well as this and that. But getting a Blessed Champion, that's awesome. That is so cool. Stranglethorn Tiger again. There's an Arcanized Soul Priest. Druid of the Claw, always good. Ancient Brewmaster, I think I only had one of these, so I like having two, especially if a big minions deck. I like having this in my Stampede deck. If a minion gets low on HP, you just bring him back and then resummon him full HP. And another Silver Moon Guardian. 3/3 for 4 with Divine Shield. Repentance, I don't have this, but this I think my first one. When you play him and reduce his health to 1, this can be very effective in mid and late game. You don't want to play it early, but if you play it mid game. Mortal Strike Gold, awesome. This is a great card. I run this in my Warriors deck, but I got a gold one now. Another Stranglethorn Tiger. There's a rat. There's a rare. Kieran Toward Mage this is my second one. When the next secret you play this turn costs 0. Certainly, a 4/3 for 3 is still really good. That's a very strong card. But then you add the Battle Cry to it, especially on a mage. It's mage only, obviously. This is actually a really good card. I don't have any mage decks, otherwise I'd run that. In certain decks anyway. Depends on how many secrets you have if you're going to be running secrets at all. You're always going to be running secrets, but it has to have enough secrets to warrant the fact that you got that card. Thought Steal, I don't like it. It's finicky, and sometimes you get cards you don't want or whatever. But you can also, I've seen people do like some really crazy stuff, like stealing like Ragnaros or whatever. I think I only have one of these. It's one from my Enraged deck. Another Thought Steal. Holy Fire, always good. This works in my Priest Heal deck. I do have the Legendary that doubles your effectiveness of everything. Another Conceal, which is great. There's a Demolisher, which I don't think I have. Soul of Force, I have 2 of those, but this is probably one of my favorite cards in the whole game. It's so fantastic. Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 Treant. When you put this on your minions and they die, they will turn into a 2/2 Treant, which is awesome. Mad Bomber, I hate this card. It hates me. RNG always hates me. You guys know that. Never been a fan of RNG. This has killed me and my minions more times than I can tell you. And I hope this card burns in the deepest of hells. Overload, Unbattled Elemental. I think I only have one of those. That's good for an Overload deck. A lot of Overload spells for Shaman. Another Acolyte of Pain, another Scavenging Hyena, another Explosive Trap. There's a Shadow Flame. Whoop-de-doo. Yada yada. Cone of Cold. Nothing special. Those will be disenchanted. I do have 2 of all those, I think. There's Wisp. Hate Wisps. Felguard. I don't have this, but this one is just... I don't know, man. This actually might work in my Stampede deck because I have such a big mana curve, but then it'll slow down. This Battle Cry is just so... You get a 3/5 with Taunt for 3, but, destroys when your mana crystal. This slows down your tempo so much. This card is so hit or miss. I don't know if I would ever run this. It would have to be something that's just like a cheap deck. Like, I don't care how big my mana curve is. And this is my least favorite destroy card. Destroy a minion, your opponent draws 2 cards. Wow. I just gave my opponent card advantage to destroy a minion. It better have been worth it. I better have destroyed like Deathwing or something. That's pretty much what you want to do with that one. Mana Worm, whenever you cast a spell, gain +1 attack. That'll probably be disenchanted. Not a big fan of that card. It's too weak. Another Earthshock. There's an epic. Pit Lord. Deal 5 damage to your hero for a 4 mana 5/6. Not that bad. Now, you compare it to the Felguard from before. I don't like the Felguard. This one's okay if you have a lot of heals or a lot of taunts. Because a 4 mana 5/6, if you can put a 5/6 down on turn 4, that's huge. This is actually a good card, but 5 damage, I don't know if it's worth it. A Nourish Nurse is always good. Inner Fire. And a Blood Imp. Blood Imps are so dirty. So very dirty. Young Youthful Brewmaster. Brewmasters are good for big decks. You have a big deck. Untitled Chapter. I think I only have one of these. I like these cards. Good for draw. Another Infiltrator. Another Cult Master. And that's going to be that pull. Mana Wraith. Legendary. Hager. Finally have Hager. Thank the Lord. This is going to be a good pull already. I'm so glad I did this. I've already got a bunch of cards I've really been looking forward to, and of course a bunch of dust. Demon Fire, Harvest Golem, and Silver Moon Guardian. Finally got Hager. This card is probably one of the best legendaries in the game. It's a 4/4 for 6 that continually spawns 2/2s with taunts. So if you can get to a point where they're low on cards, or you feel like they've expended a lot of kills, you can put this down on turn 6 or 5 with a coin, or if you're a mana crystal ramp deck with Druid or something like that. But still, 4/4 that spawns taunts every turn at the end of your turn, that's really good. This is probably one of the best legendaries in the game. One of the most balanced. legendaries in the game. It's not really like, you know, novelty or finicky. Mortal Strike, I already got a gold one of those. And the Power of the Wild, there's a Jungle Panther, Flame Imp, 1 mana, 3/2, but deals 2 damage to your hero. And then of course Mana Worm. Not a big fan of that card. Not a big fan. Stormforged Axe, good weapon. Does have Overlord 1, but does work with those Unbound Elementals. Shadow Madness, gain control of an enemy minion with 3 or less attack until the end of the turn, which you can then use to trade. In fact, you'd want to trade with it. Arcane Golem, I don't see why you'd ever want to use this. I mean, it's a 3 mana 4/2. If you're using like a rush deck, it's a 4/2 on turn 3 with charge, but then you're giving ramp and tempo to your enemy, and it's not, I don't know. I've never seen anyone run this. I've never wanted to run this myself. It's an interesting card. There's a lot of interesting cards in this game that no one really uses. There's a Cold Light Oracle. Getting close to be able to use this. There's an Epic. It's a Pyroblast. Pyroblast is always good. I've seen Crip actually get a 3 Pyroblast by stealing a card from the enemy deck, and then just Pyroblasting 3 times to get the win. Troll, 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 lol. But 10 damage is a lot. You either kill a big minion or just do 10 damage. And a lot of people play at least 1 Pyroblast and just wait until they get 10 or lower and then just finish them off the next turn. Another Bloodsail Raider, and of course the Flame Imp. Mad Bomber, I hate that card. Priestess of Elune is actually not bad. 5/4 for 6 that heals you for 4, and it's a neutral, which means you use it for all classes. Not that bad of a card, and works in heal decks or in decks where you have a slow gain in the beginning. You have a pretty big mana curve, and you know you're going to take some damage. Putting this down on turn 6 is pretty good. Get that health back up. Loot Hoarder, I have 2 of those. Betrayal, I believe I have 2 of these. I need to build a rogue deck. I don't know. I just wonder what it is, but I just hate rogues. I've always hated rogues. I never played rogue in WoW. A Sea Giant Gold. Oh yeah, I was looking for one of these for my Stampede decks. This guy's gonna go right into my Stampede deck. Right into it. This is a good one. Mirror Entity. There's another Emperor Cobra. A Conceal. And then a Stranglethorn Tiger. Nice pull here. Glad about this. Very glad about this. Wanted to get a Sea Giant for my Stampede deck. There's another Epic. Gorehowl. I get 2 of these now. I have 1 in my Warriors deck. I don't know if I want 2. 1 seems to be the number, but another Gorehowl is always good. There's another Nourish. There's a Cult Master. And a Loot Hoarder. Dragon Hawk. I stopped running my Beast deck because it's just too finicky sometimes. Sometimes it really works, and sometimes you just get owned. And I don't like that kind of instability. Another Wisp, because I love Wisps. Equality. Change the health of all minions to 1. This is my first one, and this works great with Consecration. This works so great. Consecration does 2 damage to all enemies, including the hero, but also the minions. Drop this for 2, Consecration for 4. On turn 6, you can wipe his board, guaranteed. No matter what he has, you can wipe it. I'm going to put this right into my Divine Shield deck. Good grab here. Good grab. Another Ghoul. I have 2 of those. Shadow Step. This one's actually pretty good. That's actually very good. And then Dark Iron Dwarf. This is kind of like the Brewmaster, but you don't have to use a minion for it, and it's 0. Plus, it makes it cost less next turn. Good stuff. Flare. Good against mages, paladins, other hunters. There's a Snipe. There's a Mark of Nature. And a Shadow Step. Nothing too big here, but of course these 3. I don't know if I have a Shadow Step. I might not. I just got one of the last steps. I mean, this might be a disenchant, but these are all going to be disenchants for sure. Leper Gnome, that's a disenchant. Summoning Portal, another disenchant. Ice Barrier, I actually don't have this, but it's a very good card. When you get attacked, 8 armor instantly, very good. Mana Wraith, I hate this card. It's, I don't know. If you had a Murloc deck and you put this down last on your field, it forces them to get creatures out slower to counter you. I don't know. It's a weird card. It's a weird card. Ironbeak Owl, disenchant. Ooh, Spiteful Smith. Cool stuff. Always good to get golds. Young Priestess, Frost Elemental, and a Slam. These will all be disenchants, and this will probably replace 1. Because I keep the gold. I'll have 1 gold, 1 not gold, and then disenchant the other one. Armor Smith. I like having 2 of these. I have 1 in my weapons deck, and I like it a lot. First Shock. Arcanine Soul Priest, Thought Steel, and then a Flame Imp. Come on, give me another legendary. Demon Fire. Nourish. I got plenty of that. Silver Moon Guardian. Eviscerate. And then Dread Corsair. I think I only have one of these. I'd like to have two, just for my weapons deck. They cost less depending on how much damage your weapon does. Explosive Trap. Kind of go a little faster now, just because I'm getting a lot of the same cards. Temple Enforcer. Scarlet Crusader. Blizzard. I have two of these, I believe, so that will be a disenchant. I think these will all be disenchants. I think I have two of all of these. Any big ones? There's another Thrallmar Farseer. It's going to be another disenchant, another disenchant. There's another Fell card, so I have two of them now. Woo! Woo! Bacchus! Woo! Flame Imp. And a Defias Ringleader. So I think these will all be disenchants again. No, this one won't. I don't know. This card just, it hurts my soul. Warlock is so, like, it's like you get something really good really early and then you just hurt yourself for it. Savagery. Deal damage to your hero's attack. To a minion, I think I have one of these. That would be a second one. Spellbreaker, always good to have. This is a 4/3 for 4 with silence. Very good. Sorcerer's Apprentice. There's an epic. Murloc War Leader. I could now finally build a Murloc deck. This is one of the necessary cards. All of the Murlocs have +2, +1, and it's a 3 mana 3/3. This is good card, and it's pretty much necessary for making a Murloc deck. So I might make a Murloc deck next. They're so troll though. I forget the Murloc decks are so troll. And they're expensive. You need to have really expensive cards and rares and legendaries to build a Murloc deck effectively. Frost Elemental, that will be a disenchant. Skadoosh. Alarma Bot, that's golden. Why not? Why not? You know, Deadly Shot, Snipe, Disenchant, Disenchant, Redemption. And then another Savagery. So this will be a disenchant as well. I think this is my second redemption. So that won't be a disenchant. But not the big deal. Priestess of Elune, this will be a second one, I think. Circle of Healing, Disenchant, second Ice Barrier, Vaporize, that will be Disenchant when a minion attacks your hero, destroy it. And then a Thrallmar Farseer. It's like Tigers and Thrallmar Farseers today. There's a rare, Holy Fire, Disenchant, Slam, Power Overwhelming, interesting card. Warlock is just so aggressive. And that's our Forged Axe, and then their Blood Imp. So a lot of disenchant. I'm gonna get a lot of dust out of this. I should anyway. A lot of these cards are not super cheap. So there's the Silver Moon Guardian, Cone of Cold, Argent Protector. I love this card in my Divine Shield deck. I love, love, love it. Massive Spell, and then an Iron Beak Owl. Oof. There's an Aconite Soul Priest, a Fairy Dragon, a Naturalize. I hate that card. Vaporize, and then another Mana Worm. So far, I mean, it's already been worth it. I got Hager, which I'm stoked about. Sending Portal, Mark of Nature. Ooh. Another South Sea Captain. This is my second one. My second one. I can build a Pirates deck. Blade Flurry. Good card. Destroy your weapon and deals damage to all enemies. It's basically like a free wipe. Especially if you just want to use your hero power for a 1/2 and then... Good stuff. I should build a pirate deck. Those are fun. Ancient Brewmaster. That's a disenchant. I have two of these now. 2 golden spiteful smiths. Because reasons. Here's another rare. Shadow Madness again. And Noble Sacrifice. The last one, guys. Big money, no whammy. No whammy. Stop. There we go. Farsight. Draw a card. That card costs 3 less. I like this. I don't have this, but I have it now, and I like that I have it. Thrallmar Farseer, of course, wouldn't be the end of the deck, or the booster opening if it wasn't. There's a Flame Imp, there's a Loot Hoarder, and the last card is an Injured Blademaster, and that is going to be the end of that draw, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. How much did we get? We got, wow! So I got Hager, I got the Warlock pull. Where is it? I got these cards, but who cares? I ended up getting Bane of Doom, which is a really nice card. Deal 2 damage to a character. If that kills it, summon a random demon to the field. That is crazy. But from your deck, of course, works really well in a demon deck. And also would remove some of the battle cries you'd get from these like deal damage and whatnot. So Alarma Bots and something like this really does help with demon decks because they're so, you know, discard 2 cards, deal 5 damage to a hero, yada yada. But I mean, I got that, I got Hager, I got all kinds of good stuff, some gold cards, and then 1090 Arcane Dust. This was a really good pull, and I'm pleased. I am pleased with this, and this is almost enough that, you know, if you look at the legendaries, you know, they're 1600 to craft a legendary. So getting 1090 on a pull, even if all the cards were bad and I disenchanted them all, I would still have enough to get a legendary. So that's why I really like the crafting system in Hearthstone. It really makes it easy for you to get things. Plus, I got the Sea Giant. God, it's such good stuff. So you definitely 1600. You definitely, you know, if you don't get anything in your boosters, which I think is something that's just so ingenious and keeps people, you know, buying more boosters, is the fact that if you don't get crap, you can craft whatever you want. You basically, if you need a card specifically, you're looking at something, you're like, you know what, I need a Cold Light Seer. You just freaking grab it, and you craft it, and you're done. Even if your booster was bad. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Look forward to seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to throw a favorite on the video, throw a like, share it, and of course let me know what you thought about this or what you'd like to see in the future from me in the comment section below, and I'll see you soon.